Hey guys, what's going on? Gandhi here, and in today's video, I'm going to be announcing a brand new video series we are going to be starting on my channel. We're going to be going boss by boss, doing a comprehensive parse guide with a primary focus for all arms warriors. However, this could be helpful for any melee DPS playing on TBC Anniversary. This is going to be a 4-part series. We're going to go in sets of 2, which are listed on the screen right now. This video's primary focus is going to be Hydross and Lurker. Now, to get right into it, I currently am holding rank 1. I locked in some absolutely insane kills on these two bosses this last reset. Unfortunately, I don't have the videos for these kills. My file got corrupted. However, I will be going through the logs of this kill, dissecting it, and I'll have some gameplay for some previous kills to kind of like point out some positioning and different rotation. We'll go through some old raid footage and show some key points that I find are very important. Now, before we get into this, something important to note is these kills, I got some absolutely ridiculous RNG, which has been so due. As you can see, my medium parses are upper 898s, 99s on all the bosses that matter. Fathom Lord is kind of an exception. Important to note, if you play at a 98, 99 level all the time and you have that rotation, etc. built in, at some point you'll get some RNG that just doesn't make any sense. Next week when I go over my Leotheris kill, I literally had no idea how I did 2.3k DPS. It felt disgusting. Whereas on the other hand, this week's Lurker could not have felt better. Like, I knew the second the boss died that was a rank 1. Now, to dive right into this kill, this was rank 1 and is still rank 1 currently. Something to note here as well, like, this is the upside of Arms Warrior, by the way. Like, number 3 raid DPS with no group support. All I had was an Enhanced Shaman and 1 BM Hunter. You'll see, like, I had no Feral, only 1 BM, and I had a Rogue and a Survival Hunter in my group. But the first thing we're going to look at here in this kill is cooldown and buff up times. Important things to note: execute Lust, we got Heroism during execute phase, kind of a middle to late Drums, Death Wish during execute, Badge during execute, we got a good DST proc during execute, Wreck, Blacksmithing Chest Piece, because I'm running Twin Blade of the Phoenix, and then execute Haste Pot. This is the key to 99 and 100 parsing as a warrior in TBC Classic. You're like Thanos with the Infinity Stones, right? Like, when all of these things are popped, you're pulling 8,000 DPS during this window, which is the most upside in the entire game, especially with Recklessness pops. Like, you'll see here, according to the DPS chart, like, I started holding around 2k DPS, 1700 to 2k, etc. We'll have some lucky sword procs, etc., pulling 3k globals, but this is kind of like, quote unquote, the standard. As an arms warrior, you're pulling about 1.7 without anything popped. Is kind of like a good middle ground. And of course, you see Lust, will a small incline. Death Wish will go up as well, and then Recklessness. And this is where we're pulling literally 12, almost 11k DPS, man. 10.2k DPS at our peak. Second point we'll thing out is look at the execute damage, man. Like, execute and auto attacks or a majority of my damage. And you'll see as well, 100% crit with an average hit of 6k execute. That means every single global I'm doing 6k, and then I'm proccing sword and Wind Fury procs, and then I'm auto attacking as well. So the RNG was honestly disgusting in this kill. You see 80% crit with whirlwinds, mortal strike. Anytime you see anything above 50, even on rec kills, it's still very good. And then seeing 100% with executes, but more so, look at the auto attack crit percentage. Now, I get some questions. Do I execute? Do I do standard rotation? How do I deal with I don't know what to do when the boss hits 20%. Here's how I answer this. If you have all of the buffs we previously showed, so let's go back here. If you have execute Lust with Wreck, Death Wish, etc., all your cooldowns popped, you literally spam execute. We saw this, a lot of you guys know the Dom Void River kill from like fucking 6 weeks ago. It was like week 2 of TK, is still rank 1. because he got this same RNG that I got on Hydross, but on Void River, and it's literally held still. Like, no one's beaten it. And the reason for this is you are pulling 6 to 8K executes, like top end 8K plus, every single global. The only reason you can do this is because anytime you get a sword proc or win free proc with all of these things popped, you're getting an automatic full rage bar. So it's just full rage bar executes every single global cooldown. And you honestly ignored your swing timer as well. Like we'll see, I'll pull up a kill. Executing before the swing timer barely goes off is actually better because you get a full rage bar. Whereas if you wait for the auto and then execute, now you have 0 rage and you can't fill that with anything. So be kind of mindful of that as well. But again, if you don't have Lust, if your guild Lust at the beginning of the fight, that's totally fine. Just be mindful to pop all of your cooldowns, etc. at the start, and then kind of just keep your standard rotation, and execute is slotted in as like a backhand filler. So it like kind of replaces your hamstring as a filler in a way, because you don't want to go rageless ever in a fight as an arms warrior, because then you're in an awkward position and now you have to auto slam, and if you don't crit, you can find yourself on a rage drought per se. Now that we have general rotation out of the way, let's get into actual boss positioning. We run a heavy melee stack. I believe in this kill, we had 3 melee groups. Group 1, 2, and 3 were all melee. However, some of those are hunters, and those are positioned around the boss. Something to note as well. So Hydross was actually positioned facing towards the bridge, toward where your raid starts the fight. And the reason that we're facing him towards the raid is because now our ranged DPS don't have to move. They have a lot of room. Melee can stack behind the boss, and it just gives us more room to be spaced out in this. We're just using as much space as possible. Now, one mistake I made in this kill was our GM said on the right side of boss was our positioning. I heard that as right side of where the boss was going to be, not where it started, and that was my mistake, but I quickly adjusted and no harm was done. You'll see here, like, I'm right here in the middle. I was going around to the right side. I saw Radiax was our quote-unquote actual right side melee stack. I saw him there and quickly fanned back over before any tombs went out. You'll see me cross there. Now I'm in my position. Now, it's important in a melee stack, especially when you're running 3. It's a little easier with 2, but when you're running with 3, you do not want to be 90 or 180 degrees of the boss. So like, you don't want to be 90 degrees of your main tank. Because John Wick, for example, is getting parried here. That's a bad spot. Talon will be getting parried, but they're hunters, so they're not meleeing the boss as much as we are. They're going in for small windows. But everyone kind of gets in their spots. Make sure your max distance as well. This just gives you more room. Now, the big mechanic on this fight is Watery Tomb. Go to Gandii. I got tombed once. It says 4. That just means 1 time because there are 4 waves of damage. I only got tombed 1 time. When I say Arms Warriors RNG, this is a separate mechanic that goes alongside. And you can still, like, as you can see, I 100 parsed while getting tombed. So, like, obviously the dream is to not get tombed at all, but that's so RNG, gotta be lucky, and I don't know if I've had a kill yet where I've yet to be tombed in 8 weeks, right? So, one thing I will say about this tomb was it happened very, very early. Like, it happened in the first, like, 10 seconds of the fight. So, it was before we even casted Lust. So, really, no harm was done. Obviously, it wasn't ideal. I lost like 100 DPS, but it wasn't like Death Wish Wreck, Watery Tomb. So it was recoverable, obviously. If you get tombed more than once, you can still probably 99, 100 will probably be off the board. And if you get tombed more than twice, there's no way. There's no way you can 99. But that being said, just make sure you stick to your melee groups. Kind of reduce group Watery Tomb timing. Alright, so this kill is from, I believe, 2 weeks ago. It was kind of mid. It was a 99, however, it wasn't a rank 1. I think I pulled like 2.5k, I believe, in this kill. So still really good. Obviously not rank 1. Again, I apologize for not having the video from this week. You'll see our initial positioning is to the right side. I don't believe the whole raid rocket boots in. I know our main tank does. As a warrior, I'm just gonna intercept. You see the pre-fire release from our enhanced shamans. The raid does boot in. I sept and immediately get to my position, which is gonna be mid. So this is not the positioning where we did this last week. He was opposite. So the boss was facing where I am currently. You see we're getting our melee groups. I call for the Feral Druid in the left group to max range. You see adjust there. We get our Execute Lust now, still our standard rotation. You see a Mortal Strike Whirlwind there together. I couldn't get the slam due to the Lust. Death Wish doesn't pop with my badge there, so I have to fix it here. A little delayed on the slam. For the most part, though, this first part of this rotation was very good. Minimal mistakes. Little late wreck here. Here it is. And Lust was a little bit early, but still was very good. This is why this kill didn't turn out to be like 100 parse. One of the reasons, sorry. I also missed a few globals. I thought I got tombed and just kind of like had a mind blank here in a second. I thought I got tombed here, but I resisted it. And I should be spamming executes here. This is before I actually tested the execute spam, but still was a very good kill. Now let's take a look at this Lurker VOD from a few weeks ago. Still a 99 parse as well. It's not the 100. Actually, I think this might have been 100 actually. I know we had a lot of raid deaths, so it was a little messy. Everyone sunders here in the start, standard rotation. Let's note something as well here. Where I'm standing is actually incorrect. So you can actually get parried here, and I later found this out, and we made the adjustment for this last week where I did pull the 100 parse. So where the Ravager is currently is where this group needs to stand. If you run 3 melee groups, you'll have one here, a group here, and then the third group needs to be in the water. So this group is actually parry hasting the boss and also parrying, right? So we can't hit the boss if we're parrying. They need to be in the water. Just tell your priest, hey, this group's gonna be in the water. Just be mindful. Give us a circle every like 10, 20 seconds or so. But that's a constructive note for this kill as well. Let's watch that again. The small little move-ins. I'm going to call those micro adjustments for future kills. As we go into BT and ZA, Hydross, etc., like a lot of movement needs to be had. In playing a two-handed slam warrior, you need to be very mindful of your micro adjustments and move on the front end when you have the green window to move. With the green window meaning basically this first half of your swing timer. You can do whatever you want to do. However, in this half, you need to be mindful of your slam, so you cannot move. You also hear the little micro adjustment before the whirl. I see it coming up. After this one, that was the unpromptu knockback. Move in. That way I'm back. I get a sword proc, so I couldn't slam, but now we're back to slam. See, I'm parrying here actually still. Almost died to a double knockback. So this kill was a little scuffed, right? But was still very good. Little awkward with rage. I don't move there. He's about to spout. Important, we're just going to move in. We're not going to run around because, again, we are a two-handed slam warrior. Moving is very difficult for us, so we just dip in the water. Not going to do very much damage to us, but we're still just standard rotation. We've yet to pop anything. DST hasn't procced. We do have Lust, so we can still weave every global. I get Death Wish up here. Still get that slam. Just small, tiny micro adjustments here, guys. So now we pop everything. Again, Lust was a little early. See, I'm still just like pairing. I'm making a little adjustment here now. I finally move over. Should be spamming executes. So timing was a little early. Lust was early. Rec was early. Everything was a little too early, but overall still a very good kill. I believe I pulled like 2.2k, something like that. So it's still very good. Hopefully that gave you guys a good depiction of like where to go, where to stand, etc. for that kill. All right, so taking a look at our Lurker from 2 weeks ago, RNG was very good. Made very minimal mistakes. Let's take a look here as well at our overall raid DPS. How we gauged. So we were top 6, no, top 5 actually. Beat a few BM hunters. This is a very difficult fight for them though. They have to have pet management, etc. But we pulled 2.6K on this fight on Lurker, which was very good. Let's take a look. So again, we see a lot of melee, kind of a normal melee crit percent, 53%. It's not as crazy as the Hydross was. Slam 45, kind of standard. Heroic Strike being 80% is very good. And of course, all of this. So in this kill, I actually didn't execute spam, right? So this is an example of like keeping the standard rotation and still doing a shit ton of damage, right? So if I were to execute spam during this kill, it would have been actually insane. And the reason for that actually was because we didn't get an execute lust. Yeah, this kill actually wasn't even an execute lust. So this was a rank 1 by about 100 DPS with an initial lust. Like, we didn't actually plan to even, like, parse this boss this week. So it's another example of just, like, TBC WoW, just smash your buttons and see what fucking happens. So this is an example of me just having great RNG on the back end. So here's the lust initially. I Death Wish, just sync all that up with Rec, etc. You'll see as well, I get a DST proc, and then right after DST's ending, to keep my window, I pop the Haste Pot. And during this window as well, I just press Mortal Strike and Whirlwind and cut Slam for that 2-second window, if that makes sense. But I wanted to have Haste Pot for Recklessness. Sync up Blacksmithing Chest with it. Kind of rough RNG on this Wind Fury procs, but is what it is. So we can actually go through this kill and kind of watch my rotation here. You'll see immediately start the boss, melee, Mortal Strike, into our melee slam, into immediate whirlwind. I'm kind of keeping that standard rotation here from the start, nothing crazy. If you see here, if slam's ever at kind of like no slams during this time frame, that means I got a sword proc, which proc this heroic strike. So you're kind of, I know you guys probably know of the glitch where you have a sword proc in the middle of your swing timer and it kind of just finishes it out. In that case, you cannot slam, so you just have to get all of your abilities on cooldown. Good little DPS spike here, then back to our auto slam, right? And you want them to be this close together, filled by mortal strikes. There's probably another sword proc window here, you'll see, because there's no slams, and then we're back to the auto slam. This also could be me getting knocked back as well, right? So this fight's a little weird. It's not a tank and spank, white and black like Void River is, so you kind of have to make some small adjustments, and nothing's going to be perfect, but it's just how well you can make an adjustment quick on your feet. Kind of just going through here, keeping the standard rotation. And if your timeline doesn't look this compact, like there's not this many abilities getting used, that means that your timing is off. Arms Warrior is definitely like a little salsa dance. You have to find the rhythm, right? So if you ever get desynced and you're missing slams, all your abilities are off cooldown, I suggest you just go and you practice rotation, making sure that all your abilities are getting rotated correctly. Because right when you need to Mortal Strike, it should be coming off cooldown. You shouldn't miss any slam windows. You'll see even too, like, I didn't execute until the very last global cooldown. That's just because I wouldn't have been able to use anything else. So yeah, guys, little different video today, but I'm excited to announce our brand new series. I hope it was a good start. I apologize for not having the original VODs. I will work on getting those fixed and get this video out to you guys as soon as possible. Gonna continue to keep putting out content for you guys. Please give me any feedback in the comments if you like the series, if there's anything that I didn't show that you'd like to see during these kills, anything I missed out on, forgot about, etc. I'll continue to get these out as soon as I lock in some new hundreds. I don't like to put out reviews and guides for stuff that I haven't perfected yet. So if I don't have 100 parse or haven't gotten one on that fight, don't expect a guide video until I've locked in those numbers. As always, please like and subscribe. It helps me so much. Allows me to keep putting out more videos for you guys, and I really appreciate all the positive feedback. And that being said, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Gandhi out. Peace.